Historically, women as we age, we just get old, right? Men get sexy. They get gray hair, they're silver foxes. We're just old, right? And we're haggard, and society tells us or has told us that our time is up. Well, I know that we're just getting our groove, we're just starting, but women don't really understand that yet because society has told us something different. So it's about us women reclaiming that narrative, right? And changing the way we're seen throughout the entirety of our life.
Halle Berry has been on a crusade for women's health. She recently launched a midlife women's wellness business called Respin and is advocating for Congress to pass a bill directing $275 million to research on menopause therapies and medicines.
I'm in menopause! I mean, how liberating is that?
Fortune caught up with her at her Most Powerful Women conference in Laguna Niguel on her business ventures, what she's learned from decades in the spotlight, and her vision to celebrate the gift of aging.
Halle Berry, such a pleasure to meet you and to be able to talk to you today about your new business, Respin. Would you tell us a little bit about it and what drew you to it?
Well, Respin is essentially the first female longevity brand. It's a company that meets women where they're at when they arrive at perimenopause in their menopausal years, and then we hold their hands through the rest of their midlife until hopefully the end of their life. And it was put in the world because it was the big white space. It was the thing that I wish I had when I got into midlife, but I didn't have. It's a company that holds your hand. It gives you information, community, technology, healthcare. It's sort of a full stop, full service destination for women in midlife, but also women who are who understand that they will too arrive at midlife, right? So it's for those younger women that want to understand like what's coming and how to arrive at that time in their life in the best possible place.
It's so needed because there has not been enough in this space for the longest time. And I've also noticed that women are sometimes shy about speaking publicly about menopause, to put it mildly. Why do you think there's so much shame for women as they age talking about these issues?
I think, historically, women as we age, we just get old, right? Men get sexy. They get gray hair, they're silver foxes. We're just old, right? And we're haggard, and society tells us or has told us that our time is up. We should go out to pasture. We're done with our baby-making years. We've been viewed as that being our primary purpose for being here is to bear children. And when we're done with that at 35, 40, there's nothing left for us. Well, I know that we're just getting our groove. We're just starting. But women don't really understand that yet because society has told us something different. So they don't want to talk about being a midlifer because that means there's no place for them. They're not wanted. So it's about us women reclaiming that narrative, right? And changing the way we're seen throughout the entirety of our life.
Well, if you're the model for women getting, quote, old, we've got a great future ahead of us.
I am, and I'm proud of it. Aging is a privilege. It's a privilege to age, and we should see it that way. We should feel that way about getting older, right? We should feel like the crowned jewels of our society.
You've spent your career in front of a camera and in the creative space. What's it like to transition to entrepreneurship?
It's amazing to have this kind of control and to have, to be starting a business that I feel so passionate about and to be starting a business that I wish I had. And by helping myself, I know that I'm helping millions and millions of other women. I know I'm not alone in living through this dearth of information for us at this time of life in our menopausal years.
Has there been one thing that's the most surprising thing about starting a business for you?
It's hard. It's hard. It's work. Really it's a different kind of work, I think, than I'm used to. It's a 2-4-7, nonstop around the clock kind of work because I'm always thinking about it. But when you're passionate about something, then that's what you love to do. I go to sleep thinking about it, I wake up thinking about it. So it's all encompassing.
There's been a lot of changes in beauty standards over the last couple of decades, and you have been in the business where you have to be attuned to that for a long time. What has it felt like navigating all that, and how do you feel about it today?
That's a good question. I have always known that I'm more than this show that I walk around in. I have longed for someone to say something to me other than, "Oh gosh, you're so pretty." I've longed to hear other words. I know I'm more than this. So as I've aged, I've been determined to age gracefully and naturally. I think it's a shame that as women, we're being told that we have to find a way to stay eternally young, forever 30, as though we're not allowed to be human and do what we're naturally born to do. We're born to age and die. But somehow as women, we have to do the unthinkable. We have to figure out a way to do it. And unfortunately, we're turning ourselves into monsters trying to do that. So I'm committed to being a spokesperson for allowing yourself to age gracefully, knowing that you're more than this shell you're walking around in.
What advice would you give to women to help them feel more confident in their own skin?
I think, accept their true, authentic self. Realize what their gifts are. When you just focus on your physical self, well, it's really hard if that starts to change to feel confident. And it's going to change. Everyone must know this. It's going to change. But if that's where you've put all your focus your whole life, then you're going to feel completely out of control. And you are going to start to feel like, your worth is declining. But when you know that you're more than that and you work on your inner self, you continue to read and grow and learn and be curious and educate yourself, start new businesses, follow your passions, follow your dreams. When you're doing all of that, you have no choice but to feel good about yourself.
And last question, you're working in this space around longevity, women's health equity, it's just not there. The investment hasn't been there. We're talking about all these pressures on women. Do you think it's still incumbent on women to sort of advocate for themselves and question their doctors? Or
yes.
In doing this business, what have you learned that you would convey to other women who are just beginning this aging journey?
We must advocate for ourselves. When I found out that I was in perimenopause, I hadn't even talked to anyone about menopause. I had no idea really what it was. I thought I was going to skip the whole thing. That's how much I did not know about menopause. I thought you could skip it if you ate well and exercised and felt good about it. No. Nobody skips it. And I think it's also important to advocate. I went to Washington. I'm trying to raise money. I know that we need money for more studies. We need doctors to do more clinical trials. We need more research, right? That's how we help ourselves. So we have to advocate for ourselves by going to our doctors and telling them, hey, if you're not NAM certified, if you don't understand the menopausal body, only 13% of doctors in our country do, if you don't understand it, we have to be okay saying, then I'm going to get another doctor. But as women, we form these relationships. We can't always say we want to switch. We have feelings about that. We're insecure to speak that truth. No, we have to put ourselves first, and we have to tell these healthcare professionals, if you don't understand my body, I can't stay here because we're worth it. We need doctors that really understand and who can guide us through these really important years.
Well, thank you for your work and for your voice and for modeling aging this well.
And look at you.
Thank you.